Hello, hello, and welcome back to another NFL video. Today, in the quick sub 10-minute recap series, we are talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man. I hope y'all are having a great day, and let's get right into it. So, listen, right off the bat, one of the most confusing things to me in the whole NFL world is how much Buccaneers fans hate Todd Bowles and blame him for everything. And listen, I mean, the way they talk about him, you'd think like the Buccaneers went 5 or 12 this year, like or something like that, like some terrible season that the Buccaneers had. The way the fans treat Todd Bowles is remarkable to me. And let's just quickly take a look at how good they've been since he's taken over. Okay, 8-9 in 2022. That was Brady's last year. The offense was terrible. Todd Bowles' defense was actually top 10 that year. Okay. It was Brady and the terrible offense with no run game who was holding the team back. But they still made the playoffs, won the division. Okay. 2023, first year without Tom Brady, Baker Mayfield's first year. They exceed all expectations, go 9-8, win the NFC South again. And they win a playoff game. They beat the Eagles last year. And then this season, they win 10 games. So we got 8 wins in 2022, 9 wins 2023, 10 wins 2024. Um, in spite of massive injuries, Chris Godwin done for the year. He was having a really good year. Mike Evans misses like a whole month, I think, in the middle of the year. So that's massive injuries to their both of their star receivers. And they still win the division for the third year in a row, improve on their win total from 2022, 2023, and to 2024 now. Um, and Baker fumbles the ball in the fourth quarter of their playoff game, and the fans want Tom Bowles or Todd Bowles fired. Sorry. Remember, the possession before Baker fumbled, the Buccaneers defense got a stop in the red zone. I think they forced a turnover on downs. So you're going to blame Todd Bowles because the defense, remember, Todd Bowles is a defensive guy here. You're going to blame Todd Bowles because the defense got a turnover on downs in the red zone and Baker fumbled the ball. That's why they lost the game. It is just mind-boggling to me. Like if you hate Todd Bowles, say that. Don't try and blame everything that's not his fault on him, and don't try and make it seem like he's one of the worst coaches in football. Like objectively, that's one of the most stupid things to me. There are so many and this is just Buccaneers fans being privileged at this point. I mean, you had Tom Brady for years. You go straight from Tom Brady to another Pro Bowl level quarterback. You go straight from Bruce Arians to a guy who wins the division 3 years in a row. How many years in a row have they've made the playoffs? How many years was Brady there before? He won his first year. So they've made the playoffs 5 years in a row. I think the Saints won the division one of those years. So let's say they won the division 4 out of the last 5 years. I mean, brother, it's remarkable to me how spoiled they've gotten. Acting, there is a handful of coaches who would come into the Buccaneers and do better than Todd Bowles have done. And that's objective. That's not me being, I don't even like Todd. I have no opinion on Todd Bowles whatsoever. But the way the Buccaneers fans treat this guy, you'd really think he was just a monster or something. It's insane to me. Where am I at here? I got my copious notes here. I just went on a little Todd Bowles reign here. I forgot where we are here. Uh, yeah, but like I feel like Buccaneers fans, they're way too high on the bath salts to realize this is actually a really good season for them. If we're being objective here, you had Baker Mayfield emerge as an MVP level quarterback now. And keep in mind, Baker Mayfield, I believe that I saw a stat the other day. I think he's played like 8 seasons, and I think he's had 8 different offensive coordinators. Okay, that is amazing. Just not amazing in a good way, amazing in a terrible way. And he's about to have a ninth because the Buccaneers offensive coordinator just left for the Jaguars head coaching job. So now he's going to have to get another offensive coordinator coming in. But the good news is now he's proven that he can concede or he can succeed no matter the coordinator. He's going to have Mike Evans, Bucky Irving, Rashad White, Kate Otten, Jalen McMillan, all these guys returning. Chris Godwin up in the air. But I am very confident now that Baker, he has emerged as one of the top 10 quarterbacks in football, and he's there to stay. So Buccaneers, that's a very good part of the team. Um, Mike Evans came back from injury this season and tied Jerry Rice's 1,000-yard season record. Some people are trying to like make fun of that and make it seem like it's not a massive accomplishment. That is one of the most like historic, monumental records that there is in sports, brother. Jerry Rice's longevity is it transcends just football. His records are all-time sports record. So to tie that record, that is special. And that is amazing. That should be celebrated. That moment where he broke it in that final game was one of the most feel-good, happy moments of the entire season last year. And it happened for the Buccaneers and for Mike Evans. Um, and they had an amazing class of rookies who all stepped up pretty much. I mean, Tyke Smith, Bucky Irving, Jalen McMillan, Graham Barton. So that's just off the top of my head. All guys from last year's draft class who look like they'll be successful and good stars for the Buccaneers for years to come. So there's so many positives to take away from last season if you're a Buccaneers fan. Like nobody, and I mean nobody, thought the Buccaneers were going to win the Super Bowl. Nobody thought they were going to make the NFC Championship game. So it's like, where is this and I'm like, how privileged do you think you are that do Buccaneers fans forget where they were like 6, 7 years ago? This would have been a Super Bowl like feeling for the Buccaneers 6, 7 years ago, but I guess they just got ungrateful or something like that. Um, but like I said earlier, there's going to be some tough decisions to make with guys like Chris Godwin, Levante David. Um, but the good news is they have a great quarterback on a very affordable contract. They're going to have to extend him soon because remember, I believe after Baker's first season, they signed him to a 3-year, $100 million extension, which is amazing in terms of the level of production they're getting compared to what they're paying him. He only has 2 years left in that contract. They're probably going to tear that up and extend him. That's at least what I would do. Try and get ahead of that if I was the Buccaneers. Um, but because he's not making top tier money, they have some wiggle room to work around and add some talent, hopefully, or bring back Chris Godwin. That could be a good idea as well. Um, they should be able to improve this defense through free agency as well as the draft. I would like to see them spend their first round pick on either an edge rusher or a cornerback because I mean it's a great edge rusher class. I actually think maybe spend the first round pick on a cornerback because I think with your second round pick, if they have one, that's a question. But if they do have their second round pick, I think there's still going to be enough talent available there. I would probably go cornerback, then edge rusher if I was the Buccaneers. Um, unless they let Chris Godwin walk, then maybe a wide receiver could be a position of need as well. Um, but yeah, man, there's a lot to be happy about if you're a Buccaneers fan. They increased their point differential by 90. 90. Keep in mind, they were a playoff team who won a playoff game last year, and they increased their point differential by 90 this year. And listen, I feel like they have a lot of good moments ahead of them. And this was simply a building block year for what I really do think could turn into one of the most successful periods of football, underrated periods of football in just sports. I mean, we're talking about 5 straight years that they've made the playoffs. They have a young quarterback. It seems like no point of slowing down. The division is still very weak, even though you got teams like the Falcons and potentially the Panthers coming on. I could honestly see Todd Bowles and the Buccaneers winning the division for 4, maybe 5 years in a row. And just, I don't know, man. The fan base of the Buccaneers, it is just seeming to me to be unrealistically angry and like unjustifiably angry. I'm a Seahawks fan. I wish we were in the Buccaneers position. Honestly, they got so many things that are going well for them. Certainly the best in their division. Like not even a question. The Buccaneers are positioned the best in their division. So yeah, man. That's gonna be it for this video. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.